What's up, guys? Welcome, man. Welcome back to the Sim Standard Hangout. Of course, I am your host, SimFBallCritic, along with AzureEffect and Smitty, and waiting for those guys to get in here. And just letting you know, guys, right now it is just me. We got some updates to inform you guys about. I told you guys that my wife does her little part-time job, on Thursday nights. But guess what? She now does it from home. So she's now down in the man cave. So again, I still can't be in there, but I still have to watch my son and what have you. So you may hear him from time to time. You may hear her, but it's great, when you can have a part-time gig from home. You guys know my full-time gig is from home, so that's great. So shout outs to that. But yeah, man, we got a nice show lined up for you guys, man, and hopefully we get the fellas in here. We can get it rolling. Basically, guys, let me let you know exactly what we're talking about tonight as we wait for the fellas to come in here. Let me make sure everything is live and active here. Give me just a second. Let's just make sure that we are live, guys. Y'all know how YouTube does sometimes. Not necessarily YouTube, just how I could have forgotten to hit public or what have you. So let's just make sure everything is working out, and then we'll get right to it, guys. I'll let y'all know exactly what I plan to cover tonight. And, the length of the show will really be up to you guys. Last week we had a condensed show. We got started a little late. And that hour, seemed pretty cool. It didn't seem that bad. It didn't seem too short to me or what have you. So, it all depends on what you guys have to say as far as your comments. That'll basically just determine everything. So, once again, guys, just bear with me for a moment as I'm rambling here. I just want to make sure that everything is live and kicking. Give me a second. All right. Okay, yeah, so it seems cool. Kia's in, a couple other people in. All right, great. So let's go ahead and kick it. I see Ray said we should do a 3-hour show. Nah, man, let me speak on that real quick while I wait for Smitty. Well, it looks like Smitty is coming in.
Yo,
but, yeah, what up, Smitty? But I was just letting those guys know, man, that, the show will really depend on the flow of the show. We're not under any time restraint. The show last week was good to me. The quick hour didn't have much to talk about. And I just want to give guys an expectation on that. That's how it's basically going to be. When the show starts feeling like there's not enough to talk about, hey, we'll cut it short. I mean, I don't care if that's, I'm sure Smitty will agree. I don't care if it's a 20-minute show. It is what it is, because this show is about you guys. You know what I mean? And I gotta say this again. We continue to say the show is for you guys. You guys need to give us the comments that you want us to discuss. We can always talk about whatever, but it's for you guys. I have an idea, Smitty. I want to definitely mention that to you now, live, as well as with the other people here watching. I think we need to start mixing the show up a little bit. Maybe we'll do some gaming. We'll talk about real world things, et cetera, et cetera. And when I'm talking about real world, I mean like real world sports, sports, not nothing else. We'll have special shows where we may address, some political issues, maybe, but maybe not. We'll mainly just keep it video games and sports. But, if there's not a lot going on with gaming, we'll talk about real sports. But again, we keep asking you guys, and I see this guy here in the comments, Smitty, keep saying boring, boring, boring. Well, God, go ahead and leave. You don't have to be here. Please, do us a favor and go. But yeah, let's go ahead and get it started. Smitty, before we do our introductions, I'll let everybody know what we plan to cover tonight. We want to talk about our gamers too serious. And what I mean by that, guys, is that I'll go into it more when we get into the topic, but I see too much from gamers that get on other gamers for enjoying a game. Prime example, guys, want to call me every name under the sun just because I'm participating in this EA mobile game challenge with the NBA mobile. And I'm like, you guys are a little too serious, but I'll dive into that a little more when we get to that topic. We also want to talk about, speaking of mobile, the impact of mobile gaming. Why is it so big? People are sitting in their homes playing mobile games over console. And The funny thing is the console is not being affected. Consoles are still selling. People are still playing those games. But we definitely want to talk about the impact of mobile gaming. Why is it so attractive? Why is it so big? But then just mixing in some real sports, Smitty, I definitely want to cover the NFL touchdown celebrations, as far as the penalties. We definitely saw a recent activity this past weekend with Zeke Elliott. I want to give my opinion on what he did, whether or not it warranted a flag, et cetera, et cetera. And not so much did it warrant a flag, but based on how the refs have been policing this whole year, why do some things get a flag? Why are some things not a flag? And we'll just give our general thoughts on the celebration penalties in general. And from the community, Smitty, somebody definitely wanted us to cover the Cam Newton situation as far as Cam versus the refs. Why is he not getting calls? Is he wrong for asking for calls? And we did kind of cover this, I believe, on a previous show, but we can revisit it. But we definitely want to talk about, why that seems to be happening. Is he right for talking about it? And are the refs just dropping the ball? Are they being selective with certain players, or, are they policing the entire league the way they're supposed to? But before we do that, Smitty, we definitely our introductions, man. First, we'll say to you, how was your week? Whatever it is you got to say about the Lions, let us know, man.
Well, first of all, had a good week. Had a good week, no doubt. Let me see. But I'll say that as far as the Lions are concerned, they did not perform. They didn't perform, well, no. I take that back. They were a few key plays from winning the game. They honestly could have won that game and should have won that game based upon how the game was going. Now, there were bad decisions made by Caldwell, and there were also bad decisions made. There was also some costly turnovers. You had INTs, you had fumble in the end zone by Zenner. Like, there were just some key plays across the board that took place that ended up excuse me, that ended up preventing us from coming away with the potentially coming away with the win. You had a blown play on defense by Batamosi. Levy shouted out the adjustment, like the adjustment was made, but yet my man went in for the blitz and left a hole wide open in their zone at a critical juncture of the game, and they were able to execute. They capitalized on that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, when I look at that though, I see that this is a team that this is the only team that beat the Dallas Cowboys this year. And we were right there with these cats. So that lets us know that we got a legitimate shot to go into Dallas and take that game from them. Now, I ain't saying it's going to be easy by any means, but we can take it from them guys. So we win that game, and we win one and we're in. But if we win on Monday, we're in. You know what I'm saying? Like, the one thing that's a buzz around here is like, oh, here go the Lions. They're going to get right there on the cusp and then beat and lost it. Or, they got to go all the way down to the wire to just make it. And it's like, you know what? If they come through, we're good. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. But I want to say this though about the Pistons, because I'm having a lot of debates and stuff like that with people, man, and everybody wants to just get rid of. At this point, we basically would have traded dang near the whole team. People saying they want to get rid of Drummond, they want to get rid of Stanley Johnson, they want to get rid of KCP, they want to get rid of Reggie Jackson, get rid of Harris, get rid of Morris. I mean, everybody, dang near the whole team, just getting traded for. They're saying like, now there's First, there were trade rumors about getting Klay Thompson. Then there was trade rumors about getting Paul George. Now they're talking about trading to get John Wall. Excuse
Oh,
me.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh. Is Mike Jones coming? Mike
Right.
Jones? He's going to be the assistant coach.
Right.
Oh, man.
No, but to get John Wall over here. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens as far as that's concerned. But regardless of what they do, Stan, the issue I'm seeing here with Stan is that Stan needs to let go of that GM role and he just needs to be coach. That's it. Because Andre Drummond, and this is the other thing too, Andre Drummond is that dude goes soft as butter when he goes up against a center that's got some game. I mean, you had the Lopez, what's my man's name? Is it Brooke Lopez? I think it is, that plays with Brooklyn. You had Lopez abuse him. You didn't had Mark Gasol abuse him. You had the other Lopez brother from Chicago abuse him. It's just like this dude is getting beat left and right by these centers, but we just signed this dude to a max deal. So it's like this dude gotta start, like, you gotta ball, man. You can't I understand he's young and we got a young team, but you gotta ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta step up and produce. I'm sorry. And while people saying we need to trade all these players, I'm like, this is the thing, because I'm in a few groups on Facebook talk about not madness. Excuse me. We talk about Pistons and all that. And my thing is that now we're saying trade everybody. Everybody's trade bait. But beforehand, before the season even started, everybody was like, "Yo, look at this talent we got on paper, man. We got a bad team, boy." Like, now all of a sudden things ain't going so smooth and it's time to deal everybody off. I'm like, no, they got to develop chemistry. You have to develop team chemistry. And it's not going to happen when you have a coach that doesn't really know what to do. Doesn't know what to make happen right now with the team that's currently there with all this talent on it. It's like he doesn't really know how to manage it. Because you got Stanley Johnson, who you cut the production from. You got this guy, Henry Ellenson, who we just drafted. And he looks like a very legitimate talent. But we're not putting him on the floor. It's not like we're winning out right now. So why not give these youngins a legit chance? Why not play, mix the rotation up and spread it more evenly amongst all these players? Instead of just saying, okay, we're going to play these 4 or 5 guys the majority of the night, but then we're going to have these other guys just play somewhat. Like, no, let them all go do some work. Let them all work. We need it. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, man, like I said, the Pistons look disappointing right now. But at the same time, you got to build chemistry, and chemistry is something that's going to take time to build. And on top of that, they do not have there's no wily veteran on the team to truly lead them right now. Like, there's no vet. You know what I'm saying? The only veteran they got is John Lure, and he's a vet only by being around the NBA. He's not a vet in terms of leading a team to victory or leading a team in the locker room and or on the court. Like, he's having the season of his career right now with us. So that ain't, that says a lot in terms of his journey. And he's like he's been in the league like 6-7 years. So, and Beno Udrih, he's not about to lead the team. I mean, that guy's very, he's at the very end of the bench. So I don't think, you say you wonder how he's going to do against Embiid. They already played the Sixers, Sim. They already played the Sixers and lost. Embiid put work in on that cat, man. That's what I'm saying.
I figured.
This cat, man. Yeah, we lost to them cats, dude. We can't. I'm telling you, Drummond is lost out there. You put a center with some skill against him, that dude is about to get 8. He about to get taught a lesson. I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand. It's like he plays with zero pride. out there. And like what Stan said, these dudes had a player only meeting. He's like, man, that don't mean nothing. These dudes ain't got no heart. They playing with no heart on the floor. They're playing with hope, but they're not playing with heart. And no, like the intensity clearly ain't there. These dudes are getting ran out the gym all of a sudden. Like, that's ridiculous. So I don't know, man, but I'll go ahead. I'll throw it to you, bro.
Yeah, man. I don't have too much to say. Okay, go ahead. There's the 3 y'all guys. Y'all know how he do. He waits until I'm on the show to be active. But I don't got much to say, man. This coming Saturday, so Sunday rather. That's all I gotta say. Steelers gotta take care of their business, man. They gotta take care of their business. I'm liking how they're looking. I like the resiliency that they showed in Cincinnati. Still not confident, man. And I know some people will look at me and be like, Sam, what do you mean? I'm not. My Steelers are still inconsistent at times. They don't feel like a for sure strong team. Look at that first half. Now, I didn't get a chance to see the first half. I explained that on Terrible Towel Tuesday. I was at a christening. Got lucky enough in the second half when we got to the reception, there was Wi-Fi. Boom, boom, boom. Used a couple of links on the phone, was able to watch it. But what happened to them in the first half is why I say they're not that consistent. Now, of course, the NFL teams, any team can score on any team. I mean, they're all pro athletes. They all get paid. I'm not expecting a blowout. But when you're looking at your team from top to bottom, you know the weaknesses. Just like how Smitty just talked about his Pistons. You know the weaknesses. Pittsburgh still scares me a little bit on defense. You know, I don't know what team is going to show. We got a couple injuries. The secondary is improving, but they're not proven. You know what I mean? The run game is inconsistent, even though second half in Cincinnati, we held them to a total of 38 yards. But to sum this up, I don't think on paper, and this is no disrespect to the Ravens fans, y'all know how I do. I'm not a belligerent Steelers fan. I don't hate Ravens fans. I just tell it like it is. If one team is better than mine, I will say that. If they're not, I will say that. I don't think the Ravens are a better team than the Steelers on paper. And if you look at how each team has played this year, you really can't say either one is more dominant than the other. But looking at the weapons that the Steelers have, I think they should be able to pull out a game that's for the division in their home. You're at Heinz Field. You played the Ravens earlier. The Ravens got out to a big lead. Now, one thing to keep in mind, that game wasn't that crazy. It was big pass to Mike Wallace, 95-yard. I mean, that dude still got speed, 90-yard, whatever it was. That happens. Splash plays happen in the NFL. The other points came from, one of the main things was a block punt. They didn't really beat up the Steelers in terms of yardage and things like that. So my point is, you play that type of game again, I think the Steelers would be able to edge it at home. You play the Ravens like you play Cincinnati. And again, I'm just keeping it real. I think on paper, Cincinnati is probably a better defense overall. The Ravens, however, snuffs out the run. So it's very simple, man. If the Pittsburgh Steelers have any type of run success, or if they're successful spreading it out and staying in a spread set, I'm thinking they'll win. I don't think the Ravens will muster more than 20 points or so. So I'm thinking if Pittsburgh can score 21 or more, they'll win it. But they got to take care of business, man. This is it. Like Smitty said about his Lions. You win, you're in. And then you can go do the normal Pittsburgh thing and go lose to Cleveland in the last game. That's probably what happened. But we'll see, man. It's going to be fun watching the game, you know, watching games early per se. We'll watch a good one tonight. You know, of course, I'm not going to see it all, but we'll watch some good football on Saturday. And then Sunday, we got some nice games to watch. But anyway, man, let's jump right into the topic, man. And I want to shout out my buddy Frisk. He knows who he is, man. We appreciate you tuning in.
Oh, yeah.
He said that there was an interesting title. So I want to start off with that. You know, I don't want to hold him too long. I don't expect everybody to sit here for 2 hours. But I want to talk about gamers. I think gamers are a bit too serious at times on a whole lot of different levels. But I'm going to start with one in particular. It's like gamers in these communities that we all belong in. Everyone is so critical of what someone else does. If someone does this, oh, they're not real. If someone does that, oh, he's a phony. Oh, you're supposed to be a sim guy. Why are you watching the Madden challenge? Oh, you're supposed to be a tourney guy. Why are you? I don't understand that, particularly in this example. So everybody knows now I'm participating in this game changer showdown. Something fun that we're doing for NBA Live Mobile. You guys would not believe the type of rhetoric I've heard from people. Like, oh, I knew you weren't real. I knew you was a fake. Really? I'm not allowed to have fun? I'm not allowed to have fun with a video game or video games because this ain't even Madden. I can't have fun. I don't get that, Smitty. And for those of you that are watching, we're never going to get to a place where we want to with any game if there's so much anger built up. Video games are still supposed to be fun. And the way that people play them is up to them. Like if you enjoy playing Madden like a tourney player, that's your business. Y'all never heard me literally pissed off or mad at somebody. Man, why you play like that? Never. What do? I just be like, man, that ain't my style. Like I can't get down with that. And that's it. I know some of the tourney guys. I had a pleasure of meeting those guys. They're good dudes. They're good. Prime example, and I say this all the time, right in-house at EA. Gibbs and Falls, when we first met years ago, we had a discussion. We started to understand each other, and now those are my guys. And believe it or not, without them, a lot of the bugs that would have been in Madden would have still been there. Because guess what? Your good old sim guy would have never found it because I don't play a certain way. Guys like my man Zan, I see people trying to give him crap. Zan is a sim-minded guy who can play any style of Madden, period. Finds things that are broken or needs to be improved. But to bring it back to my original point, Smitty, then I throw it to you. I don't understand why it's such a big deal that I'm playing NBA Live Mobile, and because I'm in this this showdown now. People have said EA is paying for my Christmas, and people are crazy. And furthermore, let me end it with this. Let's say I was on EA's payroll, right? Let's say I worked for them. Not payroll as in making me do something, because obviously they can't do that. But let's just say I was an employee. So what? What does that mean to you? I don't get it. What does it mean to you for another person to be doing whatever they're doing? I've never understood it. And y'all know that we've refrained from addressing it. So that's why I'm not addressing individuals. We don't do that no more. But I just thought it was fitting for this show, Smitty, because like I said, man, the Christmas Day, it's going to be a lot of fun that you're going to see from a few game changes, just having fun. But it's just crazy, man. I was very disappointed with some of the people who follow me that really got upset about it. And I'm like, what? So what do y'all want me to do? Y'all want me to just be this Madden gamer and that's it? I mean, it's no secret I'm a YouTuber. About the fact that me being a YouTuber, there's monetization and things involved. And I'm not saying that that's coming from EA. I'm just saying it might behoove me to do more than just be this Madden sim guy. Yes, sir. Don't nobody want to see that all the time. I have way more people who are interested in what I'm starting to do on my channel. You have to mix things up. And this is the funniest thing about it, Smitty. I'm so real. I'm telling y'all that. Ain't a whole lot of other people gonna tell you that. I'm telling you what time it is. I'm still gonna be Sim. I'm always Sim Football Critic. First and foremost, when it comes to Madden or any other simulation game, y'all know I'm gonna do my thing. But let's keep it real here. Let's not kid ourselves. I am a YouTuber. Yes, I am monetized by YouTube. I get money from YouTube. I'm not rich, but yes, Just like some of these other people y'all watch that got 400, 500, 600,000 subscribers. I have a measly 12,000. But yes, my objective is to entertain as well as be the Sim Football Critic. So y'all missing me with all of that pissed off because I'm enjoying a mobile game, which honestly, that is not even a game that any of us would break down. So why y'all so serious? You tell me, Smitty. I mean, from that aspect and also from this aspect, when games don't come out the way that we want them to. Say Madden. I really just don't understand. I'm speaking to everybody here. I just don't understand how you get so emotionally pissed off that it kills you to the core. It is a game, sir. A game. You can do like Smitty and myself and Azure and a lot of you other guys. Y'all know who y'all are. And we could give our stern feedback. We can give our criticism. But you ain't never gonna hear me say, man, F here. Why? Like I just said, I have my little 3-year-old son here that's more important than a video game, man. Relax. And it's our crowd. That's why I'm bringing this up tonight. It is the sim gamers that are so ridiculously over the top, man. Just, you tell me, Smitty, am I overreacting or is it something to this?
No, it's not an overreaction. I mean, think about it. Okay. There's multiple ways to look at it here. You have some people that get upset because they feel so passionate that they take it to heart like that, even though it is a video game. I mean, think about it. You have people. I've heard an argument. This was a long time ago. This was in the 90s even. Like my dad and I at times would listen to the radio, and he would have he would watch baseball, and he would listen to some of the baseball well, not podcasts but radio shows. He had dudes. There were two hosts going back and forth arguing about how much Mark McGuire makes. I mean, to the point where it sounded like those dudes were honestly about to go fisticuffs in the studio. Two adults over a baseball player's salary that none of those cats, they never gonna see that money at all, ever. He don't even know who these guys are. But they're that adamant about it. And it's because of passion, because you're that concerned, you're that well concerned about the sport that you get that way. It's the same kind of deal when we talk about this gaming thing. It's no different in that regard. Like I had somebody in my stream sitting up here saying that all we do is press the points that we want to press and we ignore everybody else, which is funny to me because that's the same. We've heard that exact same speech from that crowd of people that say that they have the facts and know the truth, but always disperse their opinion tenfold over everything. And it's like when we talk about doing other things or playing other games, like for example, you're playing in this, you're playing NBA Live Mobile, which is a lot of fun. Look, I play in real talk. I bust out my tablet. I got it on my phone and on my tablet. I'm playing Live Mobile. Like you'll see, like now, I'm upset that they don't have controls. You can't use a legitimate controller for that game because honestly, you need to. That's what irks the heck out of me about that game because I'll burn out my stamina on challenges where it's like I'm losing control because I can't fully control it the way I want. But what I will say though is that the game is a lot of fun. I enjoy the game. I'm working the auction block to a T. I haven't spent a single dollar on it yet, and I'm able to build a legitimate team in that game. and it's a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm gonna start uploading videos of live mobile in a minute. You know what I mean? And I mean, look, if people start looking at me funny and saying, "Oh man, you bought into blah 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 blah," okay, well, whatever, doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Now, am I surprised to? I will say this: am I surprised to see Sim doing the challenge thing? Yeah, because I don't see him doing NBA Live mobile videos like that, like guys like Uber YouTuber and such. But nevertheless, I'm like, bet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not mad. I'm like, awesome. That's what's up. That's something different. Big ups to my dude. My brother about to get it in. So it's like, cool. And then he does the video calling him out. And then you see Uber do the same thing. And you see Kralo and all these good game brothers and all that. Like, it's supposed to be fun, man. We're supposed to have fun with this stuff. You know what I mean? It's a video game at the end of the day. And just like what I'm seeing here with the dialogue, I get labeled sellout. Sim gets labeled sellout. We've been getting labeled sellout since Jump Street. Our dude JD, former community guy JD, he told it up front. He was like, "Man, everybody gonna call you a sellout because you came down here, right? Ever since the first studio visit, we already know that. It comes with the territory. But at the end of the day, what we're doing is going towards a bigger cause. We're talking about Madden. Yes, we're always going to continuously. I just got done doing a live stream. That's why I was a few minutes late coming here. I was doing a live stream where I was literally pointing out replays and talking about stuff I didn't like happening in that game during the stream. I do that all the time. Sim does it all the time. That's why our streams run long, because we break things down we don't like, whether it's 2K, live, Madden, whatever. We're always breaking it down. So, because we want the game to be better. That's why we will always continue to talk about all these different facets in the game. But we don't have to be just doing that. That's why YouTube says broadcast yourself. And you broadcast yourself however you want. You play whatever game it is you want or games you want. Have fun with those games and enjoy them. If people have a problem with you enjoying them, then that's just tough, and you're just gonna have to suck it up and deal with it. So that's that's something that people what is it? I'm sorry, my thought has slipped for a moment, but I will say this: at the end of the day, people have a problem with what it is that people are going to have a problem with what it is that you do. It's kind of like, it's like this. It's kind of like that episode of Fresh Prince where Will and Carlton pledged, and Carlton did all the necessary work to get in.
Yeah.
But Will, oh yeah, they let him in. Yeah, you one of us. You cool, man. You win. But they didn't let Carlton in. And Carlton did everything that was necessary. But they looked at him as privileged. So because of the family that he came from, or his situation that he came from, now all of a sudden, oh, he shouldn't be allowed in here. Or we should look at him differently because of it. Instead of accepting him for who he is, they're looking at him and casting him out because of how they perceive him to be. You think that's any different than what Sim is receiving because he's doing this live thing? You think that is any different than when people talk about me in streams or in videos or have negative things to say, or I should say negative, but just make senseless things? People are going to say that we're biased and all that stuff or what have you, but this is my question. People say we're biased in regards of a football game when we've screamed out, I don't know how many times over, we said we want competition. We said it a million times, and then when people say that they have a problem with it, my question to you is, where's the new football game at? You see what I'm saying? Where's that brand new AAA football title? You tell me. If we're biased, show us the AAA football title and let me know exactly when it's coming out. Give me the date, give me the press release and all that. I want to see it right now. Since there isn't, and Madden is the only title, I'm going to push towards the game that I know is coming out, that we know is coming out.
All day.
And that's why we continuously do what we do. Now, in the midst of that, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to play other games too. I saw Live Mobile, and I was like, yo, let me give this game a shot, see what all this hubbub is about. And I'm enjoying it. And honestly, I got to give props to my dude AZ, because he's the one that mainly I followed off of him, posting that stuff up and you know, his word about the game and playing it. And you know, I enjoy it. I'm not a big time mobile gamer, as you've heard me say many times before. I'm not. But I do enjoy live mobile. I genuinely do have fun. I'm not going to be, you know, when it comes to me making any video content, I'm not going to be the pack puller guy and all that stuff, because I only spending money on packs and all that. But the point is that at the end of the day, we play these games. We always look at these games these sports games from a simulation mindset. And we want these games to be as authentic as possible and enjoy them. But at the same time, that's the key word. These games are for our entertainment. So we still want to be entertained, but we just want to have those realistic options in the game, and we want the game to play out as realistic as possible based upon what they promote and what the end goal is. From the many discussions that we've had with Rex, beyond interviews that Sim has done, we want this game to be truly realistic. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that's going to take time to happen. But, you know, it's all entertainment at the end of the day. We're not all just going to run around, you know, me mugging everybody that feels differently because, oh, you guys aren't Sim no more because you guys are saying this and blah, 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 blah. Like, no. If you paid attention, and that's why I had to tell the person that was basically coming at me in that way earlier. I basically was saying that, well, from the way you're talking, you clearly don't you're not paying attention to everything that we do. Because if you paid attention to everything that we do, you would know that we've talked about everything that's been said in this community. We talk about what people say on OS. It's not all about us. It's about what other people have to say. And we encourage people to speak up, just like how we got in this comment section on the side here. That's why I love dialoguing with everybody.
Love it.
You know,
I got a whole lot to say. It's gonna be funny.
Yeah, like this is a lot of fun to see all this dialogue here. Positive, negative, love, hate, all that stuff. Because everybody has their own viewpoint. And the thing is, we don't want everybody to think the same. We don't need everybody to think. I don't want anyone to think exactly like me. I don't even want to think exactly like Sim. Now, if we have different thought patterns, but our thought patterns align, we come to a cross point where we agree to some extent, or even if it is to a full extent, that's cool. But we got different viewpoints of things. And that's what it's all about. Having that gumbo pot of people that you agree with, don't agree with, and then make things happen. You see what I'm saying? So then, okay, and then here's a comment here real quick, and then I'll throw it to you, Sim. This is a comment I'm seeing here in the chat saying that Montana was announced as a mobile game. Everybody said they're not playing it, but live mobile is cool. Got it. Yeah, and the reason why, you want to know why the reason?
Hold on, Smitty, real quick before you go into that.
Yeah.
Dudes like him, your comment is exactly what we talking about. Go ahead, Smitty.
Yeah. No. That's what I'm saying. He falls right in line with dude. This is my point. See, this is what I'm saying. guys like you're not fully paying attention to everything. You're being selective. If you paid attention to everything, Damon Grohl came onto our show. He came onto Sim Standard Radio and said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna fly you guys in and all that stuff and everything." He was being subliminal and secretive, mentioning 2K and all that stuff and everything he posted and everything, right? So then, how come he didn't say this game is on mobile up front? NBA Live Mobile, they didn't say, "Yo, we got live is coming. We're just not gonna tell you how, but live coming." No, they said this is NBA Live Mobile. They were very upfront with it. So I'm sorry, bruh. Like you're, ship sank before leaving the dock if you're gonna say it like that. So it's all good though, but you're missing the mark when you don't put statements with all kinds of holes and Swiss cheese in it if you're gonna say it like that. So, but I'll throw it to you, Sim, man. Go ahead, you got it, brother.
It's hilarious because like you just covered that, so I won't even dive into that. I mean, the live mobile versus Joe Montana being mobile is a totally different story. Like I said, my man, you missed the whole dialogue with this community. If you asking that question, I'm gonna let you go ahead and stay with that. But there's so many things you got to look at. None of us ever said there was a problem playing mobile games, period. Think about all of the mobile games some of you guys play that ain't even sports. There's no problem with a mobile game. There ain't even a problem with Joe Montana if it was mobile. The problem is, like Smitty so eloquently stated, it was not presented that way. Entirely different topic. Furthermore, there is an NBA 2K. There is an NBA Live. There will be another NBA Live, as we've been told. So again, your point gone. And it's not the point of just mobile games. What we're saying is, it's mighty funny how people want to put you in a box. And I don't get that. I'm going to use this analogy. And I don't know how many of you guys listen to this. If my man Frisk is still in here, he'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Like music. Take, for instance, J. Cole. For you guys who are hip-hop fans, like I am, people have been saying that J. Cole is one of the best dudes right now, one of the new greats, because you know the old greats, you know the story. Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, Pac, et cetera, et cetera. So you talk about the new era, and people, of course, they put my man Kendrick up there, which I think Kendrick is ridiculous, dope. I also say J. Cole is right there as well. The third guy, bit of a toss-up. I'm not a huge Drake fan all around, but when Drake brings that real, he's nice. He makes good music. Just not always a fan of Drake because I'm not always into everything he does. But anyway, you can easily say, excuse me, for argument's sake, Kendrick and J. Cole, everybody has been saying that's like the new Nas and Jay-Z, right? However you want to feel about that. So J. Cole drops a recent album. It's not the same J. Cole. It's not what you're used to. Keep in mind, Kendrick Lamar did the same thing. Everybody was so gone off a Good Kid, Mad City. As soon as he drops To Pimp a Butterfly, oh, it's trash. Oh, he's lost it. Oh, so that's the same thing they're saying about J. Cole. I even saw people from respectable platforms, I mean, in the industry saying, I mean, his lyrics is crazy. I just don't like the album. Here's the problem. It's different. People seem to not like different. And me personally, as someone at one time was an active artist, you got to evolve. I don't want to hear the same guy over and over and over and over. If I want to do that, just throw on some crunk music. I don't want to hear the same thing from my artists every single time. I want to hear these dudes grow and grow and grow. Why did we used to like Outkast? Because we knew they were dope, but every time they came out, it was something different. They'll hit you with a Sorry Miss Jackson, then they'll come back with a Bombs Over Baghdad. Then Andre will come with Hey Ya, and then Big Boy would come with I Like the Way You Move. It was different. So that's my point. bringing this all back full circle to YouTube, by nature, I'm adventurous. I like to do a lot of different things. So now, again, that I have reached a point to where I'm actually a YouTuber, I'm no longer just a sim guy, because people have told me that, listen, you ain't no longer that. You can do that. But no, you got a little bit of a following now. And the more I do different things, I have multiple people saying, man, I love when you do that. Ooh, I love when you do that. People be requesting certain things. If I'm gonna be a YouTuber, I don't mind doing things that I'm cool with. Now, what I will never do is do stuff that I don't want to do, or do stuff just because I'm on YouTube. And that's a very important statement. So keep in mind, everything that I do, I don't mind doing it. It's fun. Has it ever occurred to anybody, Smitty? Maybe that's why they matched me up with Uber YouTuber, somebody who's known for mobile. And then here I come, the novice guy. That's funny in itself. I mean, that's an instant matchup in itself. Like, here, what is Sim doing playing mobile against him? It's hilarious. And that's all we're saying. Like, y'all need to kill all that. You guys have been following from day one. You may not like me, but it's too much criticism of what other people are doing in the community. You know, I know Frisk mentioned my man Anto. I've heard people say crazy things about him, and I'm like, first of all, y'all ain't paying attention, because Anto the boss is an entertainer. I mean, yeah, he was doing Madden, Mutt, and stuff like that, but no. He's more than that. He's a vlogger. He's you know, the boss talks. It's all kinds of stuff. So I don't want to hear nobody criticizing him for being a certain type of gamer. Come on with that. You know, like, again, I'm just saying, I don't understand why people put you in a box. I just don't get it. I don't get that boxing you in stuff. So y'all got to stop with all of that, man. But listen, I'm going to do what I feel like doing, whether people like it or love it. Because just guess what? For all the people who don't like it, they'll go away. And I don't mind. And before I throw it back to Smitty, y'all remember all them people I lost because I gave my opinion on the election? I've regained that by 100. So that just goes to show you it is what it is. If you don't want to rock, deuce. See ya. But this is what it's going to be. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to entertain you guys. I'm going to be serious at times. I'm going to do the film study. I'm going to criticize Madden. I'm going to criticize 2K. I'm going to have fun playing Sim versus them when I'm playing Mutt and when I'm playing mobile games. And every now and then I might stream some FIFA. And of course, I'm going to play Battlefield 1. If y'all don't like that, it's all good. But I'm going to do what I feel. But anyway, Smitty, I don't know if you have anything else on that. Outside of that, man, we can move on to the next topic, and kind of bleeds right into that. I'll throw it to you first. The impact of mobile gaming. Why is it so big, man? What is going on? Why is mobile gaming such a phenomenon right now? Please explain to us why that is in your opinion.
Well, to me, okay. To me, it's big. I mean, well, mobile gaming is big because of convenience. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody has a cell phone, or I should say almost everybody has a cell phone or a smartphone where they're able to play these very capable mobile games now. Excuse me. So when you're talking about these games, like, you had your Candy Crushes and you got your, what is it called, the Mobile Strikes and everything else, all these other games you got, is huge now. You know what I'm saying? It's huge. You can play legitimate quality titles on these platforms like NBA. I mean, as crazy as it is to say, at least this is from talking with other people, they said NBA Live Mobile is built off of the NBA Live 10 technology. You know what I'm saying? As far as the gameplay is concerned, at least that's what, like I said, that's what I believe it is. So when you have your game, when you have the game and you have that level of quality going on with your title, that's crazy right there on a mobile platform. See what I'm saying? So these games came a mighty long way from just being playing your Tetris, playing your little brick game and all that stuff. And it's completely blown up now to a whole nother level. And this is why I'm saying when you play a game, when you play these games, I mean, you'll be amazed to see how sophisticated people are with them. Because they bring their tablets and they play their games there. You got some people that play on their mobile titles. I mean, look, you got Uber YouTuber who straight up, it seems like he's in his car doing his Uber runs. You know what I'm saying? When he shoots his videos on live mobile and everything, and Madden mobile and FIFA mobile. So it's like, people, you're able to get legitimate fun out of these games because if you think about it, excuse me, playing a game like Ultimate Team, that's a mode that fits perfect on mobile. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at how, because what's going on in NBA Live right now is not much different than what you got playing Madden Ultimate Team. It's not much different at all. You got you have your daily challenges, you got your seasons you can play. You can play head to head against people and all that stuff. You have your line, you have your different kinds of lineups that you can build and all that stuff. You have different kind of rewards and everything you can get, building that up, and that's something they have in Madden too. You could trade in this many silvers, this many bronze, this many golds, and you take one of these elite players and you can get this high caliber guy. They got that in live mobile. You see what I'm saying? So it's like these elements all can be done. Okay? All of it can be done. And it can be done just not on console, but on mobile. So when you talk about the mobile forefront really coming up, that's why that is. Because back then you can only do it, you got to be on this console to do it. Now you can do legitimate amount of gameplay stuff on your mobile device. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Play your game on one spot, end it there, pick it up somewhere else, and continue on. That's the way they got it going forward here with these things, man. And as you can see, like what they said, I don't know how much they said that NBA, that oh, what was it I was gonna say? NBA Live Mobile basically came out. It came out when there was no NBA, there was no action going on, and those dudes have made a good amount of money off of that mobile app. You know what I'm saying? Whether you play it free to play or you drop in coin. I mean, look at QJ. Look at the videos Q does. He's dropping money. He's dropping money, and that's his QJB. These other cats is dropping coin. Uber YouTuber, he dropping a good amount of money on that. Like, these dudes are dropping money on this game. So yeah, it's definitely, I definitely see why, why the big time nostalgia is going on with it. So it's, mobile has went from being just something to do to being a legitimate gaming platform. Like, it is a truly legitimate gaming platform now. So hey, I'm excited. You know what I mean? Like, it's very exciting to me because looking at the way these games are right now, I definitely look forward to see what kind of functionality we'll see going forward with these games. Like, for example, will we see something happen with live? Because I know, at least from calendar wise, live, console version is supposed to be coming, forthcoming relatively soon. It'd be sweet to see, you be able to do some things as far as meeting goals or something like that you already did on the mobile side, and you can bring it into the game. That would be crazy. Because just like how you got companion apps and stuff like that or whatever, like we got the Madden one that just came out recently, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Having that kind of stuff added into the game. That would be sweet. So, but I'll throw it back to you. You can definitely give your thoughts.
Man, honestly, this is why I think it's so big. People spend most of their time on their phone. Let's be honest. Now, I'm not saying it's the best thing for me because, like I said in the chat, I like consoles. I like playing on my TV. Okay? If not that, I like when I'm not at my TV using this very MacBook that y'all are seeing me on right now, and I can use remote play with my PS4 remote. I can plug it in, controller rather. I can plug it right into the computer, hit PS4 remote play, and I'm playing off of my console. That's my preference. But I don't mind somebody who likes to play a mobile product. And that's really the point I've been trying to make all night. Why should I care? Because I've seen some guys say, it ain't for me. Exactly. And that's my point about the mad gamer. When something ain't for you, why you get so mad? That's what I'm trying to find out. And it's not like, let's be honest here for a minute. It ain't like we trying to school nobody. Y'all know I like telling y'all the truth. Y'all know I like being me. And every now and then I kick real moments. And I would ask that of any person, any grown adult, man, woman, whatever. Why you get so wrapped up in stuff that ain't even your concern, per se? If something ain't for you, let it be. That's what I do. Yes, in the past, I've had times when I've been pulled into stuff, but I've let that go, man, because by nature, that just ain't me. If it ain't for me, I don't care. The example I use all the time, Call of Duty. I put Call of Duty down years ago. No longer my concern. Do I talk about people who play it? No. I actually watch some commentators. My man Jive Turkey. Prime example. That's one of my guys. I watch a lot of his videos. He plays Call of Duty. Do I leave comments on his page? Oh, this game whack. This game sucks. Oh, you stupid. No, because I don't care. He's enjoying himself. So why should I rain on his parade or be huffed up and, all big and bad and mad because it don't make sense, folks. We grown, man. We are grown. We got to kill it. And the reason why I'm even saying this tonight is because some of you guys, and I don't know if any of you guys are here tonight, but I'll just say some of you guys out here who follow some of us, this is the type of rhetoric y'all are spewing, man. All in my timeline, I'm tired of, come on, man. I don't care about that. And it gets to a point where I don't respond to you no more. And that's sad because you might legitimately be a good dude, or you might have good things to say. But when I see too much nonsense, I just do like this. I put the blinder on like, he over there talking about something. I ain't into that. And then I might miss something real that you say. So that's all I'm saying, man. You know how people on YouTube, they have their little cliques or whatever, like my man K-Spade, he calls his people the Wolf Pack, and, Anto, the Boss Nation. I ain't got no name for my followers. Y'all are just people just like me. But I'm just saying, for people who rock with me, I'm just trying to get everybody to behave like that, man. Let's be adults. Let's be civil. You know what I mean? Because civil is what gets you heard, especially with Madden. The devs is not going to listen to nonsense. They're not going to listen to nonsense. They're not going to listen to click-clack, chit. They're not going to listen to all of that rhetoric. You got to come correct, man. I mean, show some type of positivity in the way that you're presenting. I'm not saying be positive about your feedback. I'm just saying people don't want to see that, man. If it don't concern you, that's why, if y'all notice, I don't be saying stuff about the tourney like that. Let them dudes do what they do, man. They playing for money. I told y'all a long time ago, if that was me, if I'm sitting up there playing for 30 grand, And I'm going to be 100% honest with you. There's a glitch in the game that works. Guess who's going to use it? Shouldn't be there. That was one of the realest things that Faros told me years ago. You know what, Sam? I'm going to be honest with you. Our biggest beef is the game shouldn't allow this. And I was like, whoa, I ain't got no argument to that. That's real. Their thing is, Gibbs and Faros used to always say the game should not allow this. I had to respect that. So if you see a guy that runs fullback dive over and over and over, I can't be mad at him. I could be mad at the way the game is currently designed, but I'm not mad at that dude. He's doing what works to win. And that's where I draw the line, man. People try to attack people's character. You know, dude, you just run the same play. Bruh, you would too, I'm telling you. No matter how sim you think you are. If you playing in the Madden tournament, and God forbid, there's a glitch or the fullback dive, Gronk can't be stopped, and you need a yard, guess what play you're gonna run? Stop it. Stop acting like you wouldn't do that. Because it's not the integrity. I get that, but there's the seriousness. When it's a game, dog. Now that's why we play in our fishbowl. Play in the sim league, have a good time. We have rules. Everybody enjoys themselves. There's some things that happen within the game, but y'all ever noticed the videos that I put up on my stream? I ain't never really talking about how the guys playing. We having a good time in it. Of course, there's gameplay problems, but y'all understand what I'm trying to say. That's all I'm saying, man. But again, Smitty, the mobile thing, I really think is because of this. Everybody has it in their hand. You know, y'all know I work from home 4 days a week, but one day I commute from Pennsylvania to Washington, D.C. on both trains that I take. This is all I see from everybody. I had a picture I put on Instagram a while back when I was on the subway, right? And everybody, there was not one person looking up. I was the only person looking up to take the picture. And that's why I think mobile gaming has become so big. Man, my mom plays games on her iPhone, dude. My mother. And I think companies understand that. And the last thing I'll say in regards to that, it's business. You think these cell companies don't know that? These gaming companies don't know that? How you gonna be mad at EA? Or, excuse me, 2K with NBA 2K, their mobile game. I don't really know exactly how theirs work. I've seen it, but I haven't really dove into it. Because I think theirs costs. But you think, come on, man. This is what I'm saying. Y'all gotta think, we gotta think business sometimes. Sometimes I always say we. It might not necessarily be my thoughts, but I say we because we are a community. Sometimes we get too wrapped up into what we think somebody should do. And y'all don't take into account the infrastructure, the business. Just like my man Frisk commented in here, and that was a great post. He said, imagine if Nike allowed themselves to be put in a box. They would only be making shoes for marathon runners. Go figure. Think about that. And how much money do them Jordans make? You see what I'm saying? So sometimes we gotta step back, man, and stop acting so, man, why do they do this? Why do they do that? It's business. And when it comes to games and flaws, even though I get on Madden sometimes and I get on 2K, I understand. I think some of these things are not as easy to fix as we think. I'm going to say one other thing here real quick, Smitty, before we jump to the next topic. I really believe, and I really believe this, guys, and y'all probably going to be shocked. I really don't think that NBA 2K nor Madden intentionally doesn't fix something. Now, I'm going to say that, and I'm going to preface it by saying, at least I hope that's the case. Let me explain to you why. Because of the time that I've been there, I've seen things, believe it or not, that didn't have to make it. We got it made, put in the game. Because we fought, we banged on the table, and we was like, no, we got to get that. And it happened. I've seen things that could have waited the next year, the year after. We fought for it. They found a way to make it happen. I really believe when I talk to these guys and I've talked to engineers, and again, with a guy like Rex coming out and telling you right out of his own mouth, here's the problem that they face. There's fundamental things that were put in Madden years ago, even before any of them were on the creative team, that they have to fix and or remove. Then they have to build that back up or replace it. Then on top of that, they have to innovate. Now, for anybody who's an engineer, y'all would say, yeah, that's probably a lot of work. Now, I'm not defending them because to me, there's still things I'm like, that should have been fixed by now. But I'm not an engineer. Prime example, Smitty knows this as well. I look at FIFA and I'm like, whew, you mean to tell me we can't get the player movement like that? They in your house. I don't know the ins and outs. I really don't. But I really don't believe that they just holding back. I don't believe that. Because we saw what just happened in the Madden Challenge. There was a patch that was supposed to fix a problem that became a problem in the challenge. I really don't think EA wanted to show that to the world. So I know I've hit a lot of points here, guys. I've been rambling, but think about it, man. Think about it like this. All of this stuff is going to help these games get where we need them to be. The mobile platforms are going to do it. These tournaments are going to do it. The Madden Challenge and all of that, this esports stuff, that was something that we stated a long time ago. 205 mentioned that as well. Because of that, these games are going to improve for the best because no company wants a showing where your game is looking inferior. Not going to happen. But like I said, a lot of you guys don't think like that, man. And you know, if y'all put me in a type of position where I'm held as one of the voices, then I'm gonna kick real to y'all too. I'm gonna be like, listen, I accept that, but y'all got to know some things too that y'all not paying attention to. You know, I don't want us to move like that. I want us to be more intelligent, man, and really dissect these things. And you know, of course, I'm sure that there's some companies that, you know, let's be honest. I'm not going to backtrack on what I said, but I'll take a piece back, a little piece. I'm sure there's stuff that companies will be like, yeah, we can wait till next year to do that. I'm not saying they don't do that, but what I'm saying is I don't think that these companies intentionally don't fix problems just because. I don't believe that from my experience with the Madden team. Now, whether that's right or wrong, Smitty, I don't know, man. I just don't think that's the case. And why y'all ain't tell me I had this paint on my y'all see that? Y'all see that? Y'all probably out there saying, man, Sim ashes, I don't know what. Y'all ain't right. Ain't nobody tell me that. Look at it. But anyway, I don't believe, Smitty, that I don't think these companies just don't do it. Yeah, I just don't believe that. But, you know, feel free, man, to expound on that. And then, you know, after that, we can move on to the NFL stuff.
Yeah. No, I'll just say this to add on to it. Is that you got things like you have budget, like my Frisk, you know, brought up here in the comment section. You have budget, you have time, and you gotta understand that these games are getting more and more on the production level of movies. Okay. The problem is that these games, you have this short time frame to make it in. Like you got an 8 or 9 month cycle, and you got to keep making these productions. You see what I'm saying? It still is going to be a challenge, and trust me, it's not that they're ignoring it. It's that, okay, we got to make, just like how Rex said when he did one of his streams. He said we had to make a decision in terms of doing that update, like how he did that update before the tournament had took place. It's a decision that he had made, and he's got to live with that decision. He could have said, no, we're not going to roll it out yet, but he decided to go ahead and roll it out before the tournament popped off. See what I mean? So it's like you're gonna have to have that stuff roll out. You know, you're gonna have to deal with that in the midst of that going on. You know, you know what I'm saying? So back on PS2 days and everything, the production level was not the same. The cost and the time and everything, not the same. You go back from there and you go to, you know, Super Nintendo and Genesis and then Sega Master System and NES and all that stuff. And the games were not as hard to make back then. You know, or I should say there wasn't as much that needed to be put into it. You wouldn't have to have a gigantic team of people to make a game that was on NES. You see what I'm saying? But now, the way these games are now, yeah, you got to have a full-blown team. And the thing is, it's not going to be able to be done in the time frame that we want it to be. Like, that's what I'm believing. That's why you see all these updates and patches and stuff like that. They put it out the way they put it out is because it's not like they're not able to get everything done in that time frame, in that limited window. So now, am I saying that, oh, well, that makes it okay? No, it doesn't make it okay. But these are real world, you know, game, like real world elements that have to be evaluated. That's like saying, okay, Marvel, you got to drop a new movie every 9 months. And by the way, it's going to be the same producer, and you got to do it with the different cast, and you got to make the movie hot, and you got to get the visual effects right, the acting right. You got to cut it, edit it, all that good stuff. And you got between 7 to 8.5 months to get it done. That movie will have so many holes in it, it won't even be funny because they don't have nearly enough time to make the movie with the quality that it should. You see what I'm saying? But when you see what happens when it comes to a dev making these things happen, they're given that time frame basically and saying, "Hey, look, you got to make the game happen regardless." And this is what I mean. The bigger these budgets get, and they keep on getting that way, then you know there are going to be bugs, there are going to be issues that ends up getting left on the table. That's with everybody. That's why you've seen 2K have like 7, 8 updates. That's why you see Battlefield have updates. You see Grand Theft Auto. I mean, heck, their online wasn't even working right at first when that game came out. And those dudes had years to build that game. See what I'm saying? And they spent a ton of money. They invested a ton of money into that production. See what I mean? So this, you know, this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about right here. You know, like it's a hard balance, but that's why, you know, these dudes are doing updates the way they are across the board. Now, are we saying that we're okay with it and we like the way that it is? No. I would love for it to be the way it was back in yesteryear, where it's basically everybody that dropped their game, that was it. There was no going back, there was no update, there was no revision. It was just the game the way it was, and that's literally all you had. I'm a full fan of that. I definitely am an advocate of that. But like I said, that's not the way it is anymore. You know what I mean? It's a whole different ball game in that regard. So that's why it is the way it is. So, you know, if we went to anyone's, like, 'cause I mean, I see the comment section, I see how guys are going, you know, are feeling about it, and it's all appreciated. And you know, everybody who feels the way they feel, that's not a problem. Excuse me. You know, that's completely fine to feel the way they feel. But at the end of the day, it's gonna take these guys time to build up the game we want in the manner that we want because of the fact you got all those restrictions. And I'll end it with saying this point. And when we first went down to EA, we told people, yo, put in the comment section what you want us to pass along as feedback to the devs, right? And when we came back, I said that, yo, they may be able to address it, or it may be something that'll happen in a later title. We can't tell you when it'll happen. You know what I'm saying? Just like right now, like my man's here in the comment section in the chat is saying, are they working on Madden 18 and is player movement going to be fixed? When have you seen a game come out at, what was it, in December, and they tell you exactly what they're doing for their title?
Why they keep asking?
Nobody does that. So when you ask those kind of questions, yeah, that's why I was saying, like, no one answers these kind of questions on the front end. 2K they dang near don't give you any insight into their game until what, 2-3 weeks, like I would say less than a month before the game drops. Why all of a sudden you think Madden's gonna be the one to do it? It's not gonna happen. So this is why I'm saying, this is the stuff that we're talking about, is that these works got to be done. Like all this work and stuff has to be done, you know what I'm saying, to get the game where we want it to. And we're speaking from a place of knowledge, like from gaining insight. So, but it is what it is. And of course, like I said, Gnarled or whatever his name is, he's
this dude just trolling, man.
Yeah, that's he's just trolling. One of those guys that chooses to miss the mark, and can't help that.
He's just trolling, man. And again, like I said, man, I have grown to the point where I don't even really care about. I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. Y'all know I don't mind speaking my mind. I don't care about cats like yourself that continue to twist the narrative. People kill me with they're getting defensive. How are we getting defensive? All I said to you was I can't answer future questions, and y'all know that.
Right.
So respect the position that we in. That's all I ask from people who choose to follow me or choose to, stop in from time to time and hear what I got to say. Respect the position that I'm in. You know darn well I can't tell you nothing about Madden 18. Come on. And again, like I said, I don't even care about your feelings in that regard. If I'm pissing you off, see you later. I ain't got time to worry about people that act like they don't even know how these things work. I don't have time to babysit in that regard. I'm not gonna do it.
I'll tell you what. No, let me just say it. I'll tell you what. My man's in stream here. You get Rex to publicly go out on Twitter and tell everybody what's being done in that regard, then we'll talk about it.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. So do that. You do that, and you get back to us with the official pick of what Rex had said and when he said it, so then I can see the tweet myself. Sure, we'll gladly talk. Otherwise, we're done. So, I'm done. So I'll give it to you, man. So
it's so funny because it makes me laugh because y'all always run to the same defense. Oh, stop attacking your viewers. Oh, I'm just participating in the But my man, you're the one that accused us for being defensive. I want anybody else in here that feels that way, say it. So maybe I was. I really don't feel like there was anything I was defending. If I'm defending anything, I'm defending you guys' access. Yeah, you guys. Let me explain to you what I'm saying. We have the privilege of being behind the curtain, right? Y'all have known since we've been there. We tell you guys nothing but the truth. Think about it for a minute. I'll give y'all a second to reflect. Think about past shows and years past, how much we've said that has come to fruition, or how much we have tiptoed real close to the line without breaking rules. And then what happened, right? But some guys choose not to listen to us. That in itself is hilarious. I'm not even going to say hilarious. It's hilarious. Because here are some guys who telling you the real deal. We even pull from Rex, because y'all know, Rex even knows himself. Rex sometimes will slip up and say stuff. We even pull from that. We telling y'all the facts, nothing but the facts. I go down to E3, I'm asking these questions that everybody want to know, and I challenge you to find an interview I did with one of them where Rex and Clint didn't kind of tell us something that might be coming, because I knew what question to ask. But then it's us. It's us, Smitty, who are defensive. Oh, they don't. It's crazy. If you don't listen to what we got to tell y'all, fam, hey, do me a favor. Click that little X in the corner. Be on your merry way. But again, like I said, guys always want to run to the same defense. When we don't answer a question, oh, they're getting defensive. Oh, they're getting defensive. Because I won't tell you if they're going to fix something in Madden 18. Jesus, man. Come on. Cut it out. You know, just cut it out. But anyway, man, let's move it on to the next topic at hand. Let's talk about some NFL. Let's talk about some NFL. Now, it's baffling to me, Smitty. Let me see how I want to phrase this. Let me start off with this. I don't agree with the celebration penalties. I just don't. I don't care if it's the whole team celebrating. If they do it real quick and it's professional, it's not provocative, fine. If I was the ref, if I was the league, let them do that. You know why? You know why? Because the NFL is saying that their ratings are down. Now, I'm sure it's not down enough to where they're going to crumble. No. It's just lower than when it used to be. You ever think about, now, this could be a part of it. Could be plenty of other reasons, so I'm not even going to walk down that road. But part of it could be because it's no fun. You know how many people used to watch, and I know this being a Steelers fan. You know how many people used to watch Ocho Cinco when he was with the Bengals? Even me. I wanted to see him get in the end zone. What's he going to do? You know how many people wanted to see T.O.? What T.O. going to do this time?
Oh, yeah.
You know how exciting it was for me when T.O. ran out to that star and he said, boom, right? And then he came and did it again, and my man Emmett said, no, not again, bro. Loved it. That was entertaining. That didn't hurt nobody. Didn't hurt nobody. And some of you guys may remember this when Joe Horn, some of you guys might not even know who that is.
Oh, yeah.
My man Joe Horn went to the phone and called his agent, was like, yeah, we got to make this happen. Bruh, come on, man. I love it. Now, let me not be biased. Against the Washington Redskins, Antonio Brown scores a touchdown. He proceeds to do what most people would call a twerk. That was pretty crazy. Not the best celebration that I would care to see, but I didn't care about it. And let me clarify that, Smitty. Me personally, being someone who has been in establishments where twerking really happens, if y'all know what I mean, what Antonio Brown did was not a twerk. That was more of a pelvis thrust. So it was kind of crazy seeing so many guys saying, "Oh, he's twerking." No, he's not twerking. That ain't what we call twerking. But he is pelvis thrusting, you know, little pop, pop, pop. I get it. I wasn't really a fan of that but it was funny. I have no problem with it. So this leads me to this point. Ezekiel Elliott, cool celebration. I ain't even mad at that. Runs and jumps in the Salvation Army part. That was hilarious. No flag, Smitty. No flag. No fine, nothing. That is a little curious to me. And because I recall a game earlier with Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown, they shook hands. Now, I get it. It's against the rules. It's more than one player. But I've seen less get flagged from other players, not just Steelers. I mean, I can't recall everybody, but I've seen weird stuff, even with Odell. It starts to make me think with Odell, it's a bit of reputation, and we'll get into that when we get into the Cam stuff. But based on the rules, I don't have a problem with it. Let me clarify this for you Cowboy fans thinking I'm hating. No, that was hilarious. The presence of mind for him to do it, his ability to do it alone, I was like, oh, this dude's crazy. Hilarious. But according to the rule, the letter of the law, how does that not get a flag? I'm curious about that. So what do you think, Smitty, first of all, about these fines that are happening and celebrations in general? But are these refs a bit selective? And if so, what needs to be done about it, as far as what can they do to make sure everybody's on the same playing field or it's fair?
Well, really, all that I honestly could think of is loosen it up a bit in terms of letting people, celebrate and do their thing. You know what I'm saying? It's something that is, I don't know, like you got guys, for example, you got defenders that may never see the end zone, but maybe two or three times in their career. So when they get in that end zone, they may want to go out there and have some fun. Let them have fun. Let them get their dance on or whatever, all that stuff. Now, just don't go overboard with it and do all kinds of wild stuff, but they're able to dap it up and stuff like that. But in terms of just saying like these guys getting fined, like my man's getting into the bell and stuff like that, and saying it's a fine, like that. I don't know. That's just crazy to me. I'm like, I don't think that it's that dang on beat, that dang on deep or whatever for them to be getting called out like that, and fining them for all of it. Let these dudes have fun. I mean, because you know what? You're playing in the sport where you honestly should only be lasting between 3 and 4 years, period. Because of the grueling, the wear and tear on your body doing that. So that's huge. And then for these guys to take that away from them, man, like that's wild. That's like you said, Joe Horn and that whole San Fran and Dallas fiasco with T.O. putting his ball on the star and all that stuff in the middle of the field. In today's game, you wouldn't have that going on. You see what I'm saying? It wouldn't even be happening. So that's what I'm just saying. That's really all that I got on it. But I just think that it's crazy to take that away, especially when it's something that many players were doing back in the day, back in the 90s and early 2000s. Like, they did their celebration. And my thing that I agree with you on is that I don't mind them, like, what was it you guys said? It just slipped my mind about, dang, never mind, Sim. I just lost it. I completely lost it. It was something you had said, but I was going to piggyback off of it because it made a lot of sense. But I'll throw it back to you, bro.
It's just crazy, man, because it's funny because, you see a guy here in the chat that's, I don't know if he's for it or against it, but you're seeing a lot of people saying, and this is what kills me too. This goes back to what I like to call opinionated facts. Because people like to turn their opinion into a fact. I don't. My opinion is just my opinion. And I've seen so many people going back and forth trying to defend what he did. Oh, it's because of the Salvation Army. It's a check. Bruh, y'all need to stop with that. There's no way you telling me that Zeke was running and said, oh, I'm going to do this to represent. No, he didn't. It was funny. It was funny for him to see that bucket, the pot, whatever you want to call it, he just ran and jumped in it. That was spontaneous. So you missed me with the whole, yeah, but he's promoting a check. No, stop that. He did something spontaneous, which I love, by the way. I have no problem with it. But then you get these people who are trying to say it shouldn't be fine because of that. You can't use that excuse because, like I said, if the rules are the rules, that was excessive. I don't see how nobody can say it's not excessive. That's not normal. I don't have a problem with it. If it was my league, I would applaud it and be like, oh, that was hilarious. That was nice. That was pretty funny. Cool. But I'm speaking specifically on today's NFL. Why did that not get a flag? You can't sit here and tell me that that wasn't excessive according to the NFL guy. Right here. See that? According to them. You can't tell me that that wasn't excessive because we've seen far less that's gotten a flag. That's all I'm saying. The refs are so inconsistent. And I'm sorry, man. I don't feel like they can pick and choose. I'm in agreement with Smitty. I think they need to throw some of them rules out. I think when they go back in and they discuss it in the offseason, loosen it up a little bit. I mean, even this, the rules that they already have, let's make sure that those rules are actually defined. Like, what is a sexually explicit celebration? Is it just because you dance? Or if you take your two fists and you pump down and, that is that sexual? That probably is. But if you do the dance like your boy, what's my man from Seattle? Michael Bennett. Him and Von Miller both got a little round around we go from the hips. So if they did that in the end zone, is it excessive? Because they don't seem to be getting flagged for it after a sack. So what I'm saying is they need to define these things more accurately and take the subjectiveness out of it. Anything that you're doing that you run away from the end zone, jump into a pot, based on what y'all say now, should be excessive. Lambeau leap, not so much, because that's kind of, in my opinion, excuse me, that's kind of tradition. That's kind of grandfathered in. That's something that has been happening. Other teams do it. There's no harm, no foul with that. Cool. But I'm just saying, man, to me, according to what the NFL, because trust me, guys, I've watched football all of these weeks and I've seen people getting flagged for stupid stuff. I'm just saying, based on what they are calling excessive, what Zeke did should have been excessive. But I loved it. Loved it. It was hilarious. Do it again. if they ain't gonna flag you for it, do it again. It was so fun. Well, moving on, guys, we'll talk about Cam Newton a bit, man, and that may wrap us up. But if we get through that fairly quick, I definitely want to bring up another point that a couple of you guys wanted us to hit, and I'll throw it out here. I think we'll probably have time. Some of you guys were asking, what are our expectations for sports titles or Madden or games alike on the PS4 Pro and the Scorpion? Going forward, what type of expectations do we have? So we'll probably have time to get into that as well. But real quick, Smitty, man, the Cam Newton thing, man, I know we covered this before, but we can kind of rehash it real quickly. It's almost like what I was saying about Beckham. It's like when guys get these reputations, man, the refs have too much subjectiveness. Because sometimes, I swear, I don't always agree with the blow to the head with the quarterback. Prime example, you got a pass rusher fighting an offensive lineman, fighting for position. At the last second, he reaches to try to get by. His hand brushes the quarterback's helmet. That shouldn't be no penalty. He didn't mean to hit this guy in the head. Now, and I hate to use this analogy because, again, I don't hate Ravens fans or Ravens players. I don't hate the Ravens. It's a good rivalry. But I love the way this guy played, Haloli Nada. Y'all remember that game when he clearly hit Ben right in the nose? I mean, it wasn't, he swung his hand and bam, broke Ben's nose. No flag. You see what I'm saying? But now you'll see with certain quarterbacks, if they just brush over it, it's a blow to the head. I don't like that. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say Haloti Nada's hit that time was intentional, but it was more one-to-one. Because if I'm not mistaken, he got the sack on that play. And it was just bam. But, again, thinking about Cam Newton, we've seen plenty of shots that Cam has taken this season. No flag. Now, here's the flip side. Is Cam wrong for complaining about it? I think that's a very interesting question, man, because I know they spoke about this, some weeks ago when Cam first complained. I'll give my quick take on it, Smitty, and then I'll throw it to you. It's kind of twofold for me. Some of you guys may recall when you grew up, I know I did, just in the environment I grew up in, we used to play this thing called 21 or roughhouse or whatever some people call it. And that's when you're on the basketball court and, you got to make the shot. You make the shot, you can go shoot a free. And if you keep making the shot, you keep scoring, get to 21. Now, there were no fouls on the blacktop. There were no fouls. None. There were no fouls on the blacktop. Nobody called foul when you playing 21. Nah. Now, when there was stuff that was blatant, like we won't let nobody undercut nobody, then the playground would govern that. But slap on the arm, slap on the wrist, hit to the shoulder, ain't nobody calling foul, right? So, in my opinion, man, it's like, I don't know. It's like him saying something. Excuse me. Let me preface it with this. If Cam Newton was trying to speak on it based on bringing awareness to the refs and concern for his health, okay. But if he was just saying it just to get the call, I necessarily agree with it because I don't think that's going to do anything for the refs. I think they're going to hear it, go in this ear and go out the other. So I'm kind of torn in between, man. I don't know if it's wrong for Cam to mention it, but at the same time, I don't think it's that wrong to mention it, depending on what his intentions were. I don't know his intentions, so that's why, guys, it seems like I'm playing both sides because I don't know. But if I were to find out his actual intentions, I could give you more of my thoughts. But I will say, man, that dude has taken a lot of blows to the head, no flags. And then, had that been any other quarterback, not any other quarterback, but, some quarterbacks in the league, there's no way. There's no way you're going to do that to certain guys. So I think the refs, to some degree, might have it out for him. And I think, it's not fair, but I think his open book personality and, I guess the way last year he danced around and all of that, it's probably the reason. It's probably the reason why he's a target now and why the refs ain't really paying him no mind. But those are just my thoughts, man. For Smitty, man, what do you think on all that I said, man, about the flags and, for the quarterbacks and Cam not getting a fair shake, or, was it smart for him to even say anything?
As far as that's concerned, I mean, it's very possible. Like it's it's very possible that as far as Cam is concerned, and it's like, it goes in line with what we was just talking about a few moments ago. You got to be able to let players play, even let them speak out in terms of the game. Unless he's doing something wrong, then it shouldn't be any issue. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that shouldn't be an issue, but that's pretty much the feelings you gave in regards to it is pretty much, that's like, I really don't have anything really to elaborate on. And then when you had talked about the other aspect too, like I said, I pretty much agree with what you're saying there. I don't have anything really to add. Now, honestly, I'm pretty much tapped on those two there. Really don't have much weight to really add on from like a different perspective or viewpoint. So, but
Well,
yeah,
hey,
man. So I'll throw it back to you, man.
Yeah, man. Let's hit this last topic, man. I know some guys wanted us to cover it, and then that'll be it for tonight's show. Well, so the question has been, for a while now, even when the PS4 Pro was coming out, when people started hearing about the Scorpion, even when the PS4 dropped and the Xbox One dropped, it's always a question of what are your expectations? I mean, the question that I got to ask Smitty was primarily for Madden. What do I expect from Madden with the PS4 Pro and the Scorpion? Here's my take on it. I have a lot of expectations. At the same time, excuse me, it's some of the same expectations I have for the PS4 and the Xbox One, because these systems are next generation systems as they were promoted. You see what other games are able to do. Now, we all know the logistics. Let me say this up front, because people are going to hear this later and they're going to say, oh, well, that's why Madden sucks, because they should be. We know all of that. We know what they need to do, and et cetera, et cetera. But what I was going to say was, you look at what some other games have been able to accomplish now without PS4 Pro, Scorpion. You look at a Battlefield 1. You look at a game like The Order 1886. You look at games like GTA. Now, we all understand, and Smitty's real good with explaining this as well. We know the science with those games. It takes years to build them, multiple dev cycles. We know all of that, which is the same reason, Smitty, I don't understand why people harp on certain things year after year with the why can't Madden do this, or even why can't 2K do that, when it's like we know the answer, but then a few months later we act like we don't know the answer. Then a few months later we back to knowing the answer. We all know that none of these games will ever be able to accomplish, I won't say ever, but it will take them a lot longer to accomplish what a game like Battlefield 1 was able to do, because of dev time and a GTA and an Uncharted 4, games like that, Last of Us, those type of games. I haven't played Watch Dogs 2, but I've heard that game is pretty extensive. We know the answer to that. But to that same regard, I feel like that these sports titles that we speak of the most, meaning Madden, NBA 2K, I'm expecting on this generation of gaming, and I'm going to include the PS4 and Scorpion and the Pro. I'm going to include all that in this generation, because to me, I don't feel like those games are new generations per se. I just feel like they are bumps. Like the PS4 Pro is just bumping you up to a 4K, being able to upscale. So I don't necessarily feel like it's a total new console person. You know what I'm trying to say? It doesn't feel like the jump from Atari to whatever came after that, Nintendo, and then Sega, and then ColecoVision, and then, it don't feel like that to me. It just feels like an upscaled version, if so to speak. But anyway, regardless of that, I do expect them to be on a level of FIFA or NHL, because I will continue to say this. PES, got to represent PES as well. I will continue to say that I think FIFA, if we're speaking about EA, is probably the best sports title that they have as far as the elements that we would like to see in a Madden product. And give me just a second, guys. My son is calling me. Yes, sir. But yeah, that's how I feel, guys, with that. I think FIFA is it, man. Even if we're talking about football, it's on a green grass. It's on a field. It's players interact, not as much as American football. We all know that. But if you're talking about player interaction, player movement, AI, the main ingredients, I'm expecting Madden to get to that level, at least. So we don't have to compare it to an RPG and et cetera, et cetera. It must get to that level on this generation of gaming and beyond, because I feel like those things should happen very soon. I'm talking next year or two is my expectation, regardless of the console. Then going forward, I'm expecting with all of this 4K emphasis and all of that, living worlds need to blow me away. I need to feel like I'm at the game with how the field looks and the crowd and the sidelines being live for real, where the player model is the player model in the game. It's not just because right now, this is what Madden needs. The cut scenes need to be what the sideline always looks like and more. So those are the type of things that trailer that we saw for Madden 25. That trailer that we saw for Madden 25 when RG3 comes up to the line and how that crowd was looking and they all wave. That's what I'm expecting going forward. As far as NBA 2K, I don't really have nothing to compare that to because I'm guessing people are saying WWE is good, but I don't know personally. But in terms of EA Sports, I look at FIFA and I come to Madden and say, okay, come on, let's get this. This has to happen. NHL, again, I think that's a phenomenal feeling game for the most part, puck physics, etc. Player movement, I won't give them the edge only because we wouldn't know because they're on ice anyway. But FIFA, to me, is the bar for Madden in terms of the things we talk about the most. So that's just how I'm feeling about it. So those are my thoughts on that, man. I'll definitely throw it to Smitty. And while I'm waiting for Smitty to come back on, I will say this. Somebody else asked me what type of elements that you see in other games that may translate to sports. I mean, right off the bat, I would say the weather. That would be my main thing. Looking at a battlefield. I mean, looking at some of these other games, like I said, the Uncharted and things like that. The weather effects in those games, the weather effects in Battlefield 1, and the shading and all of that. I need that. I need to see that. I need that field to be live, like the field need to be lively. And the last thing, maybe those consoles can get us away from the body clipping in these games that we play. I don't know, because every single game that I play has body clipping and morphing, and everyone from the shooter down to the basketball game, they all have it. So obviously that's a system limitation. So I don't know if we're going to see that, but those would be my things. What about you, Smitty, man? As we wrap up, do you have any expectations for these consoles? If you do, what are they? And, what's your realistic expectation on it?
Well, I don't have a excuse me. Like, I don't have a like particular thought per se. But like I said, I pretty much agree with your sentiment there in regards to it. But, when we're looking at, like I'm looking at the comment section here, looking at what's being said, from what you were talking about. And like the main thing here to fully grasp here is that, excuse me. The main thing here to fully grasp is that, number one, the time aspect. It's going to take them time to build this stuff out, no matter what. Just like what we was reflecting upon earlier. It's going to take time, and that's the part that's always going to suck. And that's why I always lean on that, is because we would love to see everything done now. We would love everything to be done a lot sooner than later. But one thing I would say is that I'm just, like, what was it? It just said slipped my mind. Oh yeah, no. What I was saying was that in terms of making the game and producing the game, it's always going to be a huge challenge, no matter what. And the problem is always going to be that, along with it taking time for that game, to be developed the way we want to, it's like, yeah, we got to play this release. So like we got to play this release that doesn't have it yet, doesn't have everything. But then you got to play this, without playing an older installment of the game. It's kind of like you're kind of stuck in that sense. You know what I mean? Like these guys are progressively building the game, but then it's taking time to the point where some things are going to hit the cutting room floor. And this is like what I had brought up, that PAX East discussion that they had back then. They got to sell and market all these things. You know what I mean? All these elements that they bring forth into the game. Excuse me, they got to make it all marketable. It sucks that they have to do it, but it's something that they have to do. So when we talk about, when we talk about these things and we want this production to happen and we want everything to just be on point and everything, yeah, we're in that same boat with you. But we also understand that it's, at the end of the day, it's a business and it's only going to, there's only so much that they can realistically do. But if the game is not up to snuff, then that's when you leave the game on the shelf and don't even bother playing it. You know what I'm saying? Until the game is ready and it suits you according to what you were looking for to happen with the game. So that's the main thing that I got, though. What was the other thing that you were saying? Was the other topic?
Oh, no, nothing else. I was just saying, just about where it would go, like as far as, expectations on those consoles. That was really it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, like my expectations are going to be, my expectations are realistic. There's going to be things that I believe they'll be able to do. There's things that they won't be able to do, and it may take them years to finally be able to get it to that point where they can honestly do it. You know what I'm saying? And honestly make the proper jump. So that's why it's just like what you got to do is you got to keep, keep pushing while being educated. Just because we get educated about things, that doesn't mean we got to be quiet about them as well and don't say anything. Keep talking about these things, whether it's something, it doesn't have to be in full agreement with us. You don't have to agree at all, but it's something, legit. So, excuse me, it's something legit to make a point on. So, these games are going to develop. And even with the technology that they have for the televisions and stuff, the 4K gaming and all that, you got to let the games build out. It's an unfortunate part of it. But thing is, these games are still going to have to build out because that's a whole different learning curve you're talking about there, regardless. So, but that's pretty much all I got, man. I didn't really have much to, really add on to what you already had said. You pretty much hit the nails on the head.
Yeah, man. Well, I'll wrap up with this, man. Just say a few things. I'm just looking at the chat, man. And again, guys, we appreciate all of the commentary. Good, bad, and indifferent. We love that. Again, man, I'm going to keep stressing this because it's going to get to a point where, we may condense the show to an hour because, guys, let's be honest, there's not much to talk about every single week in terms of gaming. We really want you guys to start being a part of the show. We only do this show for you guys. We want you guys to give us the topics because you are the audience. What do you want to hear us talk about? We want more of you guys to start coming on and being a part of the show. It's so much more we can do with this. This is your platform. Now, I wanted to talk about, some of you guys are talking about, 4K TVs and things like that. The KS8000, the Samsung TV is definitely a good one. Sony's have good TVs, LG. I even know people with Vizio. Now, I will say this, and shout out to one of the guys here. He mentioned Hard 8 Times. Hard 8 Times is one of my guys as well. Some people can't always get into Hard 8 because they don't necessarily like his personality or what have you. But one thing he does do, he knows his gaming. He knows his 4K TVs. Definitely check him out. But I will say this. Hard 8 is an extremist when it comes to TV. And let me tell you guys what I mean. You got to think about this. Televisions come out just like cars. You know, most people don't know that. It's a 2016, a 2017, a 2015, you know. This is my thing. Me personally, my decision was I had already had the TV in mind that I was going to buy, right? I didn't rush out and buy the biggest, baddest, top of the line TV right now. You know why? Because guess what? Next year, the year, you know, maybe a little bit after, that TV going to be so much less. Like the KS 8000, beautiful TV. But the TV clarities don't change enough in a year for me to feel like I got to have the 17, 18, and 19. Much like phones. Like I mentioned in the comments here, the iPhone 7. Now, I have one, but let me explain to you why. Because I'm a part of that iPhone Forever plan with Sprint. It's the only reason. Whenever a new one comes out, I turn this one in and give me the new one. But if I wasn't in that plan and I had to buy it outright, I wouldn't have. Didn't change much. Couple extra features, camera stuff, but for the everyday person, it wasn't enough that changed that made me feel like I gotta have an iPhone 7. No. Same thing with televisions, my friends. My LG that I have, a 4K, beautiful picture. Even when I looked at them all in the store, they're all beautiful. You see some of them be like, yeah, that got a little more pop to it. That one's a little brighter. But what I'm saying, folks, especially at this point in time, where the games aren't even being developed in native 4K, don't break yourself trying to. Some of these TVs are like $3,000. Now, I don't know what you guys' pockets are like. I don't know if you can afford it, if you can't. Myself, I could afford a TV like that if I wanted to, but I'm the type of person that I don't need to do that. I don't care how much money I had. I don't care if I was a millionaire. I'm just keeping it very real with y'all. Certain things, it ain't no big deal to me to drop. Like, for example, if I had $10 million, I ain't paying $100,000 for no watch. A watch? No. I don't care how much money I got. It ain't worth it to me. Same reason why I never bought designer shades. I ain't paying $500 for no sunglasses. Sunglasses? You kidding me? Now, things for the house, maybe clothes, certain things like that. Things for for my kid, my wifey. Yeah, we'll drop some bread. But y'all understand what I'm saying? That's just me. Now, I'm not blaming anybody who does it. I'm just saying to tie this all in perspective. Don't kill yourself trying to buy this grand finale TV, man. Just listen. If it ain't no big deal to you, like a lot of people, I commend a lot of people who's like, I ain't gonna get the Pro right now. I'll wait. Just do that. Your PS4 still looks good. Don't rush it, man. Don't rush it, because that beautiful KS 8000, I'm telling you, come next year, half price. Close to half, so just wait, because it's still gonna be beautiful then. So that's all I'm saying, because I definitely like that TV, and it's another one that I saw, and I'm gonna definitely probably get those when I need to get them, but I'm not rushing. That's just me, man. It just don't make sense to me, especially again if we're talking about gaming. These consoles, or even not the console, but the game, or maybe even the console. I don't know. I don't know all the techie stuff, but I do know this, that all of the games currently, to my knowledge, are not being produced in native 4K. So you're really not going to get the full bang for your buck anyway. You might as well hold off. And when everything changes over, even television, guys, y'all remember when at one time we could watch standard cable? Like, think about that. Then they was like, no, we got to change all the boxes to HD. And now you get all of these beautiful HD channels. But y'all remember how long it took? There ain't no 4K broadcasting that I know of. I can't watch the game in 4K broadcasting. Now my TV may bump it up a bit, but I can't watch it in full native 4K. But that day is coming. That's going to probably be a day where now we got 4K channels. Then you go out and get you a TV. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to give y'all some wisdom, man. If it ain't the time for you to do it, don't run off and do that just because it ain't worth it right now. But that's just my 2 cents. Every now and then, like I said, guys, I like to spill some real life into these conversations. So not a lot of 4K content like my man here just said. It's really not. Don't hurt yourself. Don't dig in your pocket like that if you don't have to. But guys, this is it. It's 10 o'clock. Show's over.
Yeah.
I hope everybody enjoys their families. Hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope whatever it is you do celebrate or don't celebrate, you still have a great time doing that. And that's pretty much all we got, man. I'll throw it to Smitty and let him sign off. Stay tuned, guys. We'll probably do a show next week, being that, again, the Thursday doesn't really interfere with the New Year holiday. So we'll probably be back. But make sure, guys, be a part of the conversation, man. If you don't want to come on, at least give us some topics. And Smitty, I don't think you have a problem with this. Like I said early on in the show, we want to expand this a little more than just gaming. Gaming can always be the centerpiece, but we can start talking about real sports or other real topics that you guys want us to cover. So keep that in mind. But let me throw it to Smitty, man. Go ahead and give your sign off.
All right. Well, like I said, we appreciate everybody because we won't be back until next year in terms of getting back on. So it was a great year for everybody. Definitely enjoy your families, enjoy your family quality time. Get your eat on, get into some presents, spend that quality time with your family. Definitely enjoy them all over this period here. And we will be back in, I would say, about 2 weeks time or 2 or 3 weeks. We'll be back on.
Probably be 2 weeks if we probably won't do another show. Let's go ahead and say that. We probably won't do a show next week. Unless there's pressing issues and there's topics. Hold on, buddy. Unless there's topics that we must cover. But for right now, we'll say we'll skip a show. We'll take a break. We'll come back into the new year fresh. So, about 2 weeks or so, we'll be back. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody. And guess that's it, Smitty.
Yeah, that's it.
You gonna say Merry Christmas? Say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Say be good.
Be good.
Say stop hating. No, don't say that. All right, y'all. That's gonna do it, man. Y'all, Christmas Day. Watch some basketball. Definitely watch my Steelers take on them Ravens. Hey, I don't know how it's gonna go. I don't. I'm not gonna be one of them fans. Oh, we're gonna kill. Y'all know this. I never do that because you never know. Hold on, buddy. You never know how your team's gonna show up. But I think that the Steelers could probably win this one. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be tough. Blood gonna be spilled. Of course, I love those rivalries, but I think with everything, again, I said at the beginning of the show, but everything that's at stake, I think they might edge them this time. Won't be surprised if the Ravens win. Hey. And let me address that real quick too, Smitty. I have Steelers fans that I watch sports with. Some of you Steelers fans are crazy. I just got to say it. We're going to end the show with this. Every time the Steelers lose, Coach Tomlin should be fired. That's the main thing I hear. Or this player should have did this. This player should have did that. Why don't people accept the fact that they're both professional teams? Your team doesn't win every game. We can count on it on one hand how many teams have gone undefeated. Stop being so emotional, especially with the Ravens. I understand they're our biggest rival. We understand that, right? But do y'all remember them years when we just dominated the Ravens? I recall a time when we beat them 3 times in 1 year. But as soon as the Ravens beat the Steelers, everything needs to change. They should be fired. Listen, with a rivalry like that, the reason why it's a rivalry, much like the Skins Cowboys, One team is going to win one time. The next time the other team is going to win. There's going to be periods of dominance, like 3 to 4 games in a row. It's going to swing like that both ways. Face the facts. So that's why when we play the Ravens, Smitty, you don't never hear me sit there and be like, we're going to smack. No. Those games are capable of going either way. But I just feel like because we've lost to them the last few times here, I think 3 or 4 straight, because of the implications, what's on the line, because of the offensive weapons, I think we'll be able to outscore them this time. I really believe that. Because again, last time they were definitely helped out by that block punt. Hey, you got special teams as a part of football as well, but offensively they didn't do much. Remember that big play to Mike Wallace. I mean, that happens in football. You see big plays all the time. But Flacco didn't have a great performance. The run game wasn't that strong for them. I think it's a different scenario at Heinz Field, but we'll see. I'm going to enjoy it either way. I don't think we're a Super Bowl team anyway. So either we get in or we don't. Hey, it is what it is. But enjoy sports, enjoy basketball, enjoy football, and hey, for you guys who are not mad at me, enjoy my matchup against Uber YouTuber in NBA Live Mobile. All right, guys, that's going to do it. We'll see you guys next year. Peace.
Peace.